Hello, Asaf.
Hey Noam, how's it going?
Okay, great. Go ahead and present the project.
So, as part of the product development process, we're essentially defining our product. The specification is dynamic, it expands, it refines, but the research is always in the background, and it supports the decisions the designer makes. The use of the written word still accompanies us throughout the entire process, from specification to search terms to the way we'll present the project, and then also marketing level.
And we as designers do understand that the academic resource exists, but for us as designers, it's not so accessible to us.
So essentially, our main goal is to make that text accessible throughout all project stages, utilizing an academic research tool. First and foremost, we established a common language. Why did we choose to do this? So that the chat or any tool we'll work with later, any artificial intelligence tool, understands what we're talking about. The chat isn't a designer, it doesn't understand the language you and I can speak, so we needed to create a common language between us and it. But first, we had to look at how an industrial design project is built. We reviewed many projects and found 5 main components that make up a project and are essentially hidden in the product's brief. So we call these components pixels, and together these pixels complete a picture.
You are completing a specific image. The pixels, like the spec, are dynamic throughout the process, more or less detailed. Not every project. The projects will contain all the pixels.
Yes, so as we mentioned, our main objective is to acquire academic resources that will assist us in our work to add the pixels that are missing and complete our overall picture of the project.
The tools that we're going to be using are, of course, our good friend ChatGPT.
ChatGPT is the most famous artificial intelligence tool, and the majority of communication with it is text to text. The second tool we'll use is AIxID. Essentially, it's primarily an AI-powered search engine for academic publications containing additional functions we won't discuss in this video. And the last tool is NotebookLM, which is a new AI tool from Google based on information sources provided by the user.
We will talk about him more later. Listen, he is worth talking about.
More on that.
So to begin with, what we did was create a chatbot for ourselves. It also goes by other names such as a GPT agent or GPTs as they're known. But this chat is essentially a personal one that we trained it. We defined its core purpose and what input it will receive from us and what output it is meant to provide us. We explained our famous pixel method to him and set 2 main goals. The first goal was to focus and refine our existing pixels through questions he would ask us, guiding questions and answers we would provide, so he could define the pixel more precisely. The second and more crucial goal is to create a keyword database for each pixel, which we can then use for searching.
This is how we received what we wanted from the chat. Of course, if the prompts aren't formulated well enough or the keywords aren't precise enough for our needs, we must continue to refine them until we achieve the complete and perfect match that is relevant to our project as designers and also as an integral part of our toolkit. In the next stage, we will take this list exactly as it is and input it into our next tool, which is called AIxID.
At this stage, we are essentially just like any search engine, AIxID. We will define the search terms for it, and it will find for us academic articles and publications that essentially contain the search terms we entered. Here too, the role of the user, the designer in our case, is to choose the most relevant articles. There are 2 main criteria that it's important for us to understand as designers when we're selecting articles. One is the number of times the publication was cited, actually.
Basically, popularity, let's call it that. And the second thing is the year the article was published, because it's important
To see where he stands on our timeline and to see if he's relevant.
Once it's adapted, we will actually save it and then we'll put it into our next tool, which is called NotebookLM.
Okay, a NotebookLM is a tool similar to chat, but its content is composed of what the user provides. The power here is knowing the sources are reliable.
The soundness, like everything else. Unlike the chat, which sometimes sends things, but you don't know its origin or source, and then you also know
He often invents too.
lots of those. We essentially created a master for a project where we haven't even thought of questions yet to get comprehensive answers with references. So we need articles that I understood we'd already reviewed, and we know everything is based on them. Additionally, there's a quick feature you'll care about. We'll offer to generate a conversation for you between 2 participants, call them bots, or it will explain the topic to you, just like listening to a podcast on your way to school or work.
Thanks, Basirisi.
Bernice.
But the primary power of this entire situation is that we have essentially established trustworthy sources for ourselves. We took them, essentially refined our core features, what we called our 5 pixels, and we can now essentially repeat the process and do the same thing. Essentially take our expanded spec and put it into the chat. It will essentially understand the 5 pixels from the get-go, and we can move forward with it. Again, go to Ali Street. Again, go.
Bring things to a close. Always keep going.
Absolutely, and essentially to update our sources as well. It's possible an article might suddenly become less relevant to us. So there you have it. We fell in love with these tools. We hope you enjoyed this survey.
We hope you'll continue to offer. So in addition to the video, we prepared a PDF file where we detail more concisely the project itself, the pixel model, and the tools we used.